Thanks for joining us this morning. Attorney General Pam Bondi releases new arrest data for President Trump's takeover of Washington, D.C. In an ex post Monday, Bondi said authorities have made 71 additional arrests, bringing the total to just shy of 1,600. She also said 165 illegal guns were taken off the streets since the Trump administration began cracking down on crime in the nation's capital. This comes as the president is considering expanding his crackdown efforts to other crime-ridden cities. And the Mexican consulate in Eagle Pass, Texas, reports a dramatic drop in the number of deaths from attempted border crossings since the second Trump administration began. That's according to a spokesman from the consulate Monday, saying only 5 bodies have been found in the district since January of this year, a few of which were only bones. This stands in stark contrast to the nearly 1 body per day discoveries in 2023 in the same region. In addition to a drop in deaths, U.S. officials report border crossing apprehensions around Eagle Pass have dropped from a height of 5,000 a day to generally less than 15 per day. An U.S. Navy ship docks in Panama, bolstering America's strategic position in a fight against drug cartels. Here's more.
The U.S. is continuing to bolster its strategic position in the Caribbean, despite war calls from the Venezuelan government. Over the weekend, the USS Samson docked in Panama City. This adds another American ship in the Pacific Ocean off of Latin America, with Samson joining the USS Lake Erie. Additionally, the guided missile-armed USS Gravely and the USS Jason Dunham are also positioned in the Caribbean, a little too close to Venezuela for that country's liking. Venezuelan officials have repeatedly decried the ships being positioned in waters near the country. Its president, Nicolas Maduro, and his military leaders have taken steps to bolster recruitment numbers, as well as integrate local militias into the military. Despite claiming to be a country with peace as a main priority, Venezuela is upping the calls for war.
Because of this idea, I say to the imperialists of the North, we are prepared and we are going to fight. We are going to fight if you dare to set foot in Venezuela.
The Venezuelan government has been downplaying the cartel threat coming from its country. Maduro defended his military moving equipment through the country as a normal defense practice, as his administration looks to crack down on drug trafficking. This includes sending 15,000 troops to its border with Colombia for joint counter-narcotics operations. But the White House points out Maduro's efforts could be all for show. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pointed out Maduro's ties with narco-terrorists. For his alleged ties, the DOJ is offering a $50 million reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest or conviction. Leavitt also stresses several countries in the Caribbean basin and Latin America are welcoming Trump's efforts to thwart the cartel problem.
But what I will tell you is that many Caribbean nations and many nations in the region have applauded the administration's counter-drug operations and efforts, and the president is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. And as I've said from this podium before, the Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
The Trump administration has also been getting some pushback from the Mexican government over anti-cartel operations. Amid reports on possible U.S. military operations on Mexican soil, President Claudia Sheinbaum warned the Trump administration against them, saying they could threaten Mexico's sovereignty. But during a visit to Mexico to meet with top officials, Texas Senator Ted Cruz urged the Mexican government to help America with counter-narcotics operations or step out of the way.
It would be far preferable for it to be cooperative, and so my hope is the government of Mexico will recognize that defeating these cartels is overwhelmingly in the interest of the citizens of Mexico.
In the meantime, the Pentagon confirmed its influence in combating cartels. This was in response to reports that President Trump gave the DoD an order to begin planning strikes on drug cartel facilities on Mexican soil. U.S. Northern Command is reportedly taking point on those operations, which could begin mid-September.
This case is arguably the single most important economic case that has ever come before the Supreme Court.
Senior White House trade advisor Peter Navarro says if the president's tariffs are terminated, it would be the end of the United States. Navarro echoed this claim by the president while speaking to reporters on Monday. And last week, an appeals court ruled that most of the president's tariffs were illegal. The court gave the administration until October 14th to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Navarro says ending tariffs would make it impossible to defend against fentanyl and hollow out the supply chains, creating very dangerous problems for the American people.
President Trump has said correctly, if the court does not uphold the Trump tariffs, it will be the end of this country. We will lose all sorts of bargaining power, and the rest of the world will continue to do what it has been doing, have its way with us.
Navarro says the administration is optimistic the Supreme Court will issue a ruling on the matter.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.